If you're researching the cost of inventory management software, you'll know what a can of worms that question opens. There are different products designed for different scales of business, different parts of the software that you pay for differently, for example, implementation versus user licenses, and there are different billing models too. So what we'll do in this video is break down all of those factors so you'll understand exactly what inventory management software costs, as well as how the different pricing models work and who tends to benefit from this or that approach. Now, just to state the obvious, I'm from Unleashed Inventory Software, and we're making this video because we think we're well priced and it's good for us for you to see that. So there's a salesy angle here. But it's also worth noting that we're a subscription-based model, which means that we don't make money by winning customers, we make money by retaining them. And you only retain customers by delivering ongoing value and being a good match for their needs. So that means we are actually better off recommending a competitor, for instance, or a different type of software if they are a better match for the needs of someone like yourself. And that helps us be quite upfront about this kind of conversation, where we're talking about the cost of inventory management software, which is $175 per user license per month on average. Now, we got that figure by comparing more than 70 inventory software brands, excluding some of the very small systems. Any brand with fewer than 20 reviews on Capterra, we ruled out. So the next question obviously is, how many licenses are you going to need? For a small to medium business, anywhere between 500K and 5 million in turnover, a typical number of licenses would be around 8. For example, there might be 2 in warehousing, the warehouse manager, the operations manager, 1 or 2 in procurement, as well as sales order processing, and then often the CEO, depending on how hands-on they are, and almost always the finance manager will want a license too. So that's $1,400 per month there already, which is certainly not nothing. The licenses are a big part of the ongoing base cost of the software. Now, last of the salesy stuff, Unleashed is significantly cheaper than that at $88 per license per month, but that's still a solid $710 per month for the average company. Now, the other big cost to consider is implementation. This is very variable and very important to drill into when you speak to a potential vendor. If you use a third party to get your business set up on the software, expect the cost to be between $10,000 and $40,000 as a one-off fee. For the average small to medium business, that's an approximately 12 to 16 week process where you'll be working with a software implementation house or perhaps your business advisor if they offer that service. The alternative is onboarding through the software vendor itself. That tends to be much cheaper. And part of the reason it tends to be cheaper is again with that subscription-based model. The software brands themselves will tend to have quite a strong vested interest in getting you up and running on their product and getting value out of it as soon as possible. Unleashed, for example, charges a nominal one-off $789 fee for onboarding. Those fees vary a lot between companies, so again, shop around. Now, the obvious question is, why would you choose third-party implementation if it's more expensive? And the answer is complexity. A straightforward onboarding with inventory software typically involves 1 or 2 integrations with other tools, say a couple of e-commerce platforms, plus your accounting software. And that can be quite easily managed by the vendor, especially if they built their own integration with those tools. It's going to be pretty much a plug and play connection. But if you have a lot of custom integrations to make, or you're onboarding multiple new systems at once, or if your business is simply larger and more complex, then you'll likely need a more bespoke and therefore more expensive onboarding. For context, around 98% of the small to medium firms starting with Unleashed only need that simpler and therefore cheaper onboarding process. A final note on onboarding. If you decide that one of the larger, more ERP style products is the right software for your business model, then that implementation process can be more like $100,000 rather than 10 to 40. And that's because some of those systems, they may be cloud-based, but what you're getting is a highly customized instance of the software. So you'll need a consultation process and lots of developer hours custom coding that product for you. Finally, if you're opting for that customized ERP software, you're going to need custom technical support. So whether that's outsourced or in-house, you'll want to factor in the cost of at least half an FTE ongoing. And that brings us to the final cost of inventory management software you need to be aware of, which is support. Some vendors will bundle it into the base price, others will break it out as an additional cost. Either way, with most inventory software systems, expect to pay around $80 per month to access support services. So those are the three main costs of inventory software to be aware of. Licenses are the main ongoing cost at an average of $175 per user per month, but shop around because these are quite variable. Then there's onboarding, a one-off cost where the big difference is between vendor managed and third-party onboarding, and then support services. Finally, I'm going to leave you with 3 insider tips around the cost of inventory software. The first tip is to ask which currencies you can pay in. If you're outside the United States, check if the vendor quotes prices in your currency or USD only. It's generally better if you can pay in your local currency, so you avoid the ups and downs of exchange rates. The second tip is to check how much of the base product you get access to for the advertised price. Some vendors offer a tiered pricing structure with really quite large jumps between tiers, and that will be based on what tools you get access to, or sometimes the number of transactions you process. So make sure you check that what you're buying is suitable for your needs, both now and in the future if you're planning for growth. Thirdly, and this one's a bit nuanced, see if you can find out what sort of stage the software company is at. A tech company that's shopping around for a buyer will often be happy to run at a loss, discounting aggressively and onboarding clients that aren't really a good match for them, simply to pump up their books and raise their valuation ahead of a buyout. That can work out badly for the companies they take on, and the best way to sniff out that sort of behaviour, apart from a good old-fashioned Googling on their brand name and reputation, is to go check their latest customer reviews on the independent sites, the Capterras, G2s, Trustpilots and so on. And that will give you a sense of how happy their customers are, both with their product and their service. And that's it from me. Good luck with your search. Check out Unleashed if you think it sounds right, and if it's not, I hope you find great software tools that take your business to whole new levels.